Morning everyone. Today we're up on the moors near where I live, and we've decided rather than heading out driving miles, we're going to try and shoot round near our location. So Steve and myself have headed up here. We're probably about 4 miles from where I live, and we're in an area called Blackstone Edge. Now if you look up Blackstone Edge on Google, you'll find very few images, but the rocks here are absolutely fantastic. It's probably because it's a bit difficult to get to and it's not your traditional sort of location for shooting great images. The day is not looking too good weather-wise. The mist has rolled in, and at the moment we're going to try and shoot probably black and white here. Having said that, there's some good colour in the grasses. The rocks, whilst they're mainly gritstone and black, have a lot of moss on them, and the weather's sort of bringing out the colour in that. So I'm shooting film and I'm shooting digital. I've got the X-Pan with some colour negative and some black and white, and I've got the digital Sony with me, so I'm going to be trying a few shots of that. And there's some great rocks, as you can see, just sat on some, and I'm going to try and shoot this in a moment. We've moved on now from the previous location, and we've come a little bit further up onto the edge. There's a trig point over behind me to my left at the moment, and there's a good set of rocks here. So I'm going to try a few shots around the trig point, use the path as a leading line. There's some great grasses growing in the area, which if I can get the exposure a little bit longer, I should get quite a bit of movement in the grass. So we'll see how it goes, and the weather seems to be picking up, so hopefully it'll be good for a later shoot. Okay, we've been shooting here now for about an hour, and it's time to move on. We've got some good shots in, I think, but the area is becoming very busy with walkers. So we're going to move on. We're going to pick on another location after lunch that I know called Dovestones, and we'll see if we can get some good shots there into the evening. We've moved on now, and we're over at Dovestones. We're making our way down the path. We've parked at the Bing Green car park, and the nice bit is that it's downhill now. It's going to be uphill later though, unfortunately, and we've got quite a steep climb ahead of us, so I'm going to shut down for a little bit and try and get on top. Well, we've finally finished now the climb up Dovestones, and we're here at the Trinicle. We did have a stop over at Ashway Rocks on the way. What we decided to do though is the weather's not very good at the moment. It's raining. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the rocks will probably make a better sunset location if we do get one. And also it's about halfway back to the car again, so we're going to end up there last, and we've come over to the Trinicle rocks, which are just over to my right, and it's an absolutely fantastic location. I was here last weekend, shot it in much better conditions, and even got a nice bit of colour in the sky. So I don't think today will compare, but might get some good black and white shots. So I'm going to have a try in a minute. I'm going to break out the Sony camera, try some digital, and I might actually have a look through the X-Pan as well to see if I can shoot any film in the area. It might actually be quite nice for some panoramic shots. Well, we had a great time over at the Trinical Rocks, and the weather, fortunately, has started to break. And for the first time today, it's actually with us. So we've come back now to the Ashway Rocks, which are the first set of rocks that we came to earlier. And we've given them a miss at the time because of the weather. And probably the right thing to do, because this is probably going to be the best sunset location. At the moment, the clouds just obscuring the sun a bit, but it was clear a short time ago and I managed to get one or two quick shots before filming this. And I'm hoping I can get a few more, because at the moment, the horizon's looking quite clear, although it's a little bit milky with atmospherics, and that's hopefully going to mean that we're going to be able to shoot into the setting sun and get quite some good effects and hopefully reflections as well. Sorry about the noise if you can hear this. There's a rather large jet going rather slowly over the top of us, because this is the stacking area for Manchester Airport, and it's quite low. Anyway, I'll get on, do some shots, and it looks like we're in for a good sunset. Well, that's the end of the day. The light didn't really happen in the end, although I'm looking over to my left now and I can see the sun lighting up the clouds a bit pink, but the rest of the lights just faded completely. Day hasn't been a washout though, and I think I've got some good shots, so hopefully when you're watching this you'll be watching some great images back as well, fingers crossed. Anyway, that's it for today. We're going to head back down. It's getting cold, it's getting dark, and we really do need to be off this hill.